For as long as I can remember, I've had trouble sleeping, not just the usual tossing and turning. I'm talking about full-blown insomnia, night after night, until I was too exhausted to function. I always chalked it up to stress or a restless mind, but lately, it's been different. It started a few months ago, not long after I moved into my new apartment. The place is small, a one-bedroom unit in an old building with creaky floors and drafty windows. It's nothing special, but it's home for now. At first, I thought it was the usual noises of an old building settling that kept me awake. But soon enough, I realized it was something else. It began with whispers. At first, I could barely hear them, just faint murmurs that could easily be mistaken for the wind or distant traffic. But as the nights wore on, they became more distinct, more insistent. They were coming from the closet. I know how this sounds, but bear with me. I tried to ignore it, to convince myself it was all in my head, but then I started seeing things, shadows moving where there shouldn't be any, flickers of light that vanished as soon as I focused on them. The whispers grew louder, forming words, sentences that made my blood run cold. Come closer. Every night, the same thing. I would lie in bed, staring at the closed closet door, too afraid to move. The whispers filled the room, echoing in my head until I thought I might go mad. I couldn't sleep, couldn't think. I started to dread the approach of nightfall, knowing what awaited me in the dark. One night, driven by a mix of fear and desperation, I decided to confront whatever it was. I grabbed my phone for a flashlight and crept towards the closet, my heart hammering in my chest. The whispers grew louder, more excited. Come closer. My hand shook as I reached for the doorknob. I turned it slowly, the creak of the hinges sending a shiver down my spine. I shone the light into the closet, expecting to see nothing but clothes and old boxes. But there was something there. A figure standing in the back of the closet, its form barely visible in the dim light. I could make out a face, pale, with hollow eyes that seemed to bore into my soul. The whisper stopped, replaced by a deafening silence. I wanted to scream, to run, but I couldn't move. The figure stepped forward, its movement slow and deliberate. As it emerged from the shadows, I saw its full form, a gaunt, almost skeletal man with skin so thin it looked like it might tear. His eyes were black pits, voids that seemed to suck in all the light. His mouth twisted into a grotesque grin, revealing rows of sharp, uneven teeth. The smell of decay wafted from him, a sickly sweet odor that made me gag. His limbs were unnaturally long, joints bending at odd angles as he reached out towards me. His fingers were like claws, tipped with yellowed nails that scraped against the closet door frame. His movements were jerky, almost insect-like, as if his body was not used to being inhabited. Come closer. The words oozed from his mouth, a guttural rasping hiss that seemed to vibrate through the very air. I stumbled back, dropping my phone. The light went out, plunging the room into darkness. I scrambled to my feet and ran, slamming the bedroom door behind me. I could hear the whispers again, now coming from just outside the door. Come closer. I didn't sleep at all that night. I sat in the corner of the room, clutching a kitchen knife, waiting for dawn. When the first light of morning filtered through the window, the whispers stopped. The apartment was silent, but I knew it wasn't over. I've tried everything, sleeping with the lights on, moving furniture in front of the closet, even staying at a friend's place for a few nights, but the whispers follow me wherever I go. I see the man in every shadow, hear his voice in every silence. I don't know how much longer I can take this. I'm barely sleeping, barely functioning. I'm scared that one night I'll be too tired to resist, too weak to fight back. I'm scared that the next time I open the closet, he'll be waiting for me, and there'll be nowhere left to run. If you're reading this, take my advice. Don't ignore the whispers, don't open the closet door, and whatever you do, don't let him in. I'm posting this as a warning. If you start hearing whispers at night, don't stay. Get out while you can, before it's too late. Because once he's seen you, once he's chosen you, there's no escape. He's real, and you're his next victim.